Do you still share your joy if someone puts a price on it? If a contract says your laughter belongs to a company, do you sign anyway? Stay with me, because this story may help you keep what matters most. We start in a kitchen that looks like a gentle disaster. A cake leans to one side like a tired dog. 8 candles fight a draft and wobble with pride. Marissa Hale checks the oven clock and smiles at the mess. She is a night shift nurse and a single mom. She is good with pain and bad with rest. Her phone chimes with a sound she set to calm her nerves. She expects a birthday text. It is a legal notice. The envelope is heavy and friendly at the same time. The logo is soft and round and safe. The words inside are sharp and cold. The company is called Everjoy in this story. They sell a subscription for good feelings. They promise small wins on a schedule like vitamins for the heart. Marissa joined after a bad winter and a worse spring. She clicked agree while dinner boiled over. The letter says she broke the Joy contract. It claims she shared a Joy moment without permission. It says she owes $50,000 or must be silent. She blinks at the number and laughs out of shock. She thinks it must be a mistake.
This has to be a mix-up.
She opens a chat with support and types a polite note. The bot replies with warm words and no soul. The bot says the case is escalated to legal. Her chest tightens, but the candles still wait. She sets the letter under the fruit bowl and calls for her son. His name is Leo, and he has a missing tooth smile. He runs in with a paper crown made from old mail. She lights the candles and tries to hold the moment steady. She takes a 10-second clip and sends it to her sister. She does not post it to the world. She shares it with family and thinks that is safe. It is not safe in the logic of the contract. The contract treats that laugh like company property. The next morning, a courier drops a new envelope. It is thick enough to bruise her welcome mat. This is not a mistake. The demand is real, and the deadline is cruel. She sits at the table and reads every line this time. The terms are written in calm words that hide sharp edges. They call joy content. They call moments assets. They call people units. She feels small and angry at the same time. Her hands shake and then go still. She decides to say something simple and public. She writes a short post about the letter.
They say they own my kid's laugh.
The post travels farther than she expects. Some people cheer her on with kind words. Some people tell her to read what she signs. A few defend the company with strange energy. A lawyer reads the post on her lunch break and frowns. Her name is Priya, and she believes in plain speech.
They count on you to fold before you learn your rights.
Priya offers help for free because the case is important. Marissa says yes because she is tired of feeling small. The company replies with a smooth statement online.
We protect the integrity of shared experiences for our community.
The words sound like a hug and feel like a lock. The company suspends her account without notice. The company emails her hospital because they sell a work plan. Her manager forwards the note with 3 question marks. Shame tries to take a seat at her table. Priya tells her to breathe and then explains the trick.
They design moments and then claim those moments as content. They say your laughter was curated by them, not by you. They say you need a license to share your own joy outside the app.
Marissa stares at the wall and feels a soft rage. She thinks of night shifts and quiet rooms and small hands. She thinks of a world where a giggle needs a barcode. She says no to that world, even if it costs her sleep. A former contractor sends her a message from a new account. He says he has slides and numbers and a conscience. His name is Theo, and he is young and scared.
They call users harvest units in the deck. They score sadness and push prompts to boost the line. They wrote a clause that takes rights if a bill is late.
Priya asks for the files and stores them with care. The company sues Theo the next day for theft. They add Marissa as a voice who helped the leak spread. The pressure rises like heat in a small room. Marissa wants to crawl under the bed and hide. She also wants to stand on a chair and shout. She settles on a middle path called steady steps. Priya files a response that is clear and short.
We ask for discovery so we can see the machine.
The court grants it, and the machine opens a door. The files show joy scoring tied to daily prompts. The files show compliance nudges linked to fear of loss. The files show shame loops designed to keep people paying. The files show Clause 30 that hides behind soft words. Clause 30 assigns rights in any recorded joy moment if a payment is missed. Marissa missed a confirmation during a week of flu and double shifts. The contract then claimed her family video as an asset. She feels sick when she reads that line twice. She thinks she should take the settlement and buy peace. The number is enough to fix the car and the leak and the teeth. The number comes with a muzzle and a locked box. Leo stands in the doorway with a cereal bowl.
Am I in trouble for laughing?
The question is soft, and it cuts like a bright knife. She sees the whole thing in one clean picture. She will not sell that answer for any price.
No, you are never in trouble for laughing.
She calls Priya and says she will not sign the hush.
Then we make this a mirror and we let them hear it.
The company holds a live show called the Joy Dome. It is a pop-up with citrus scent and soft lights. The founder is Noah, and he speaks like a guided app. He believes in what he built, and he loves control.
We built a safe place for clean happiness without noise.
Marissa walks into the dome and feels her chest lift and drop. She streams the mic and keeps her voice level.
Who owns a child's laugh?
The room laughs in a careful way that feels like a cue.
Joy belongs to the community, and we protect that.
The clip goes everywhere because the question is clear. People understand the stakes in one breath. People argue in long threads and short rants. The company launches a giveaway to drown the noise. They flood her page with bright comments that are not real. She wants to throw her phone into the sink. Priya tells her that anger is fuel and not a map. They prepare for mediation with a stack of pages and one clean line.
You cannot repossess a giggle.
The day arrives and the room is cold and beige. The lawyers sit like bookends around a glass table. Noah shows up in a sweater that says trust without words. He nods a lot and says he is here to listen.
We never meant harm to any family.
Priya slides the deck across the table. She points to the words harvest units in shame loop. She asks Noah to read Clause 30 out loud.
Please read every word so we can all be clear.
Rights in any recorded joy moment transfer upon lapse in payment.
His voice shakes on the word transfer. It is the first time he sounds like a person and not a brand. Silence fills the room like an honest pause. Marissa looks at her hands and keeps them still. Priya breaks the quiet with one more simple truth.
Contracts can split risk, but they cannot sell meaning.
The company blinks first because the mirror is too clean. They offer a settlement without an NDA. They agree to change the terms and stop the claim. They write a press note about listening to users. Noah steps aside to focus on wellness in a new way. Commenters cheer and hiss and move on to the next fight. Marissa does not chase the noise anymore. She starts a small thing called Open Joy on Saturdays. It happens in a room above a grocery where the rent is kind. She puts a basket by the door for phones. People bring food and stories and old board games. They share wins and losses without a prompt or a score. The air feels light in a way that has no plan. The cake still leans to one side, and no one minds. Leo laughs, and it fills the stairwell like warm water. No one needs a license for what rises in that room. The story could end here, but there is one more turn. A local paper asks for an interview, and she says no. A podcast begs for a take, and she still says no. She is done making pain into content. She wants to live the quiet win without a headline. Theo finds a job far from dashboards and loops. He builds a garden with his landlord and plants herbs. Priya returns to her other cases, but she keeps a copy of Clause 30. She shows it to students who ask why words matter. Noah takes long walks and talks less and reads more. He starts to see the line between help and hold. He learns that community is not a cage with soft bars. He learns that ownership is not love by another name. The company moves on with new leaders and duller claims. The new terms are shorter and less proud. They drop the harvest language and adopt human words. They stop emailing bosses about private accounts. They still sell a promise, but it sounds more like a playlist and less like law. People will still click agree during dinner because life is busy. People will still need reminders that time is not a product. That is why stories like this one exist. They help us see the hook before it hides in foam. They help us hold what cannot be priced. Now let me pull you back to the first question. Do you share your joy if someone puts a price on it? Yes, you do, and you share it with care and with eyes open. You read the line that tries to turn your life into stock. You cross out what insults your heart. You teach your kids that a laugh is not a coupon. You teach them that joy is a relationship, not a receipt. You teach them to guard small moments the way you guard breath. Let us walk back through the beats and taste the lesson inside each one. The first beat is shock, which tells you to pause and look again. The second beat is shame, which lies and asks you to stay quiet. The third beat is help, which knocks and asks to be let in. The fourth beat is truth, which stands up even when legs shake. The fifth beat is choice, which holds the whole weight of the story. She chose dignity over comfort, and that is the turn. The sixth beat is mirror, which makes even smooth people stutter. The last beat is return, which brings something home for others. She returns with a room where joy does not need a password. That room is small, but it grows in quiet ways. It grows when someone brings tea and stays to wash mugs. It grows when an old man tells a new joke that lands late. It grows when a nurse admits she is tired and someone nods. It grows when a child tells a dream that makes no sense, and all the sense. The world outside will keep trying to meter your light. The world outside will keep selling jars with nothing inside. You do not have to buy a label to feel alive. You can still take the walk and see the sky with your own eyes. You can still hold a hand and mean it with no backend. You can still tell a story that does not make a graph jump. That is the gold dust we promised in the muck. It is small, and it is honest, and it does not rust. Let us also admit something with a smile. We all like shiny tools that promise easy days. We all want simple buttons that fix hard lives. There is no shame in wanting help when life hurts. The shame is in the trick that turns help into a leash. That is what Priya called a shame loop wrapped in care. If you feel that loop on your ankle, cut it off with truth. Use a friend, a lawyer, or a calm voice to do it. Use a question so clear it cannot be dodged. Ask who owns a child's laugh and wait for the silence. If the answer is a logo, walk out with your head high. That is the real lesson inside this mess. Power always says it is protection when it wants control. Greed always wears soft colors when it enters a nursery. Courage is often a soft no said at the right time. That no can echo long enough to change a page. Marissa did not become a symbol on purpose. She became a person who would not sell a truth. That is more useful than any symbol. It is something you can copy on a Tuesday when no one claps. It looks like reading the clause out loud at your kitchen table. It looks like telling a manager you need a minute to think. It looks like asking for help and not apologizing for it. It looks like saying you do not owe a stage your pain. It looks like choosing a room over a platform. I promise tension and relief, and I hope you felt both. I hope you felt the small spikes that keep the mind awake. I hope you felt the soft landings that remind you to breathe. That rhythm is not an accident. It is how our brains hold a story without letting go. A good tale is a safe roller coaster for the heart. You can ride it and step off with your legs under you. You can take a lesson home without a bruise. Here is the final moral in one clear line. Guard your moments, because they build your life piece by piece. Do not trade them for points or badges or a soft tone that calls you dear user. If you must sign something, read it out loud to the wall. If you feel your stomach turn, trust it like a friend. If you need a witness, find one who loves truth more than applause. If you stumble, you can still turn around with grace. A laugh belongs to the lungs that made it and the room that held it. A contract can rent a service, but it cannot own a soul. That is not poetry, that is plain reality. I am glad you walked through this with me to the end. Thank you for giving me your time and your focus. If this story gave you something real, please tap like. If you want more stories like this, please subscribe to the channel. Tell me what hit you in the comments, because your view helps shape the next tale. If you wish to support this work, you can donate with the QR code on the screen or the link in the description. There are also links in the description to very different series that live under this channel. They are not the same as this show, but they carry their own spark. I hope you try one after this and see what you find. Thank you again for staying until the last line. Take care of your moments and keep your joy close. I will see you in the next story, and I hope you bring a friend. Until then, keep your light unmetered and your laughter free.